Hey, Julie Roussel here. Hey, welcome to Taco Tuesday, or Talkin' Tuesday if that works for you. And yes, hopefully it's Taco Tuesday in your house, because it's definitely Taco Tuesday in ours here. So hey, welcome, and thanks for joining in, whether you are popping in live right now or you are catching on the replay. It's great to spend a few minutes with you, some kitchen conversation. So as always, if you hear something that resonates with you or that you can relate to, just leave me some love. Feel free to drop a comment or your thoughts or a GIF in the thread anytime, even if you're just saying hey. Share the video with anyone you think it might help, and PM me if you have questions or just want to hear more. I'm always happy to share the things that I'm learning, and I hope that they help you. So hey, welcome. Sometimes I actually see people as they pop in. Sometimes it looks like right now my wireless is actually functioning instead of lagging behind miserably. So this is something new, but hey, welcome. I see Carrie joining in. Hey, Carrie, nice to see you, lady. Say hi to the girls for me. Hey, Jamie, long time no see. Hey, I'm glad you could make it. I think it's the first time you've popped in live. I think I can wave to everybody. There we go. I'm getting better at this. Hey, Kathy, nice to see you, lady. It's been a while. Hey. And like I said, I will try to welcome you as you pop in. Hey, Karen, nice to see you, neighbor. It's been a little longer. I hope you're doing well. We'll have to talk soon. But like I said, I'm going to continue on here. And so, hey, like I said, if I happen to miss you, sometimes it is the notes. Sometimes it's the wireless, because I do peek at them. My notes, most of you know that. But let me ask the question for the night. So is sportsmanship an essential lesson that athletes should learn? And are today's athletes lacking in it? And yes, tonight I am running a little late thanks to practice, and it does happen to be a volleyball story. Yes, and for those of you that know me, you know that right now I'm in volleyball season. So yeah, some of my stories definitely revolve around things that I've learned and things that I've noticed during volleyball season. So I wanted to share this one with you because I thought it was pretty important, and it definitely made an impact with me. Absolutely, Christy. Oh, there you go. I finally saw you pop in. Nice to see you, ladies. Say hi to the girls for me and Matt. But yes, you're absolutely right. Sportsmanship gives both ways, meaning gracious winners as well as losers. Absolutely. So let me tell you the quick volleyball story with you, what I learned, and hopefully how it can help you. And no, there's no dishes tonight because I got them done, just barely. But my freshman volleyball team was participating in an all-day tournament in one of the nearby high schools. And there were a lot of tough teams there. This was no slack tournament. I mean, I can't say there were any bad teams there because these teams all competed at such a high level. And my team didn't have to play the first match. So in our pool play there, we did have to line judge. And that's how all the other teams help out. And one of the two teams that was playing on the court that we were supposed to line judge, they were warming up and they were doing hitting lines. So those of you that are familiar with volleyball, you know one of the warm-ups that you do is the hitters are attacking the ball and getting their arm swing warmed up before a match. You always do this to prevent injury as well as to get your timing right. And unfortunately, these hitting lines were hitting right at the spectators who were seated way towards the back, because the courts were set up in this gym. There were 3 courts running long ways this way. And the seats for the spectators were behind the court, probably about 20 feet. And the opposite team was on one of the opposing teams was on the other side of the court, and they were hitting right at the spectators. So just seeing this from the coach's point of view, I know this can be a really hairy situation, to say the least. Someone could get nailed or have to go to the hospital or the emergency room, you name it. There's so many things that could happen. And right at that point, balls were flying everywhere because, these are freshman boys, and sometimes they do lack control issues. I mean, everyone does. This is warm-ups. That's what you're supposed to do. And normally, for the two teams that are playing, one team hits while the other team shags as a gesture of courtesy and sportsmanship. And that's something that I've seen done many, many times, but not by all. Many teams, including myself, we ask our players to show the other team some sportsmanship and courtesy and just shag for them. so that they don't have to chase balls all over the gym, so that they have their warm-up time, and that, you know, no spectators will have balls flying at them unexpectedly, especially, you know, parents. And like I said, normally the other team is shagging, but at this point, the other team that was supposed to be playing in the match, they were off on the other section of the net, way behind, and they weren't shagging at all. They were just warming up by themselves. So at this point, I see balls that are starting to come in the direction and starting to fly in the direction of spectators, and they were rolling on the courts, I should say, around, and they were heading towards the other 2 courts of play that were going on. And they have matches going on, you know, simultaneously next to us. And like I said, this is a bad situation waiting to happen. And a few of my players jumped up at this time, and I would say probably at least half of them, they just pretty much ran onto the court at that point and formed like a wall in front of the spectators. And they were shagging balls and keeping the balls from hitting the spectators. And they were also chasing down those balls that were rolling off towards the other courts to prevent some other athletes from having balls roll on the court and have someone turn an ankle or break one because of that ball being there. And I'm standing, you know, behind them, pretty much against the wall here. I'm waiting and watching all this unfold just in front of me. And I'm loving the fact that I see my kids, sorry, I call them kids, that I see my players just jumping up and just stepping in and giving a little bit more than they've been asked. You know, no one asked them to step in. They just stepped right in and picked up the balls and got them all back to the carts and the coaches and the opposing players, and they're not even scheduled to play at that point. I mean, just simply without even being asked. They just simply did. And right after that, a few of the officials and referees, they noticed that I was wearing the team insignia, and they were talking to me a little bit after the match, and they said they were absolutely surprised that players from a team that wasn't even on the court warming up and weren't playing in the match were just gonna hop in and help out when they didn't have to, when they weren't required to, and without being asked. I mean, they didn't expect praise, they didn't expect compliments, they simply jumped up in front to protect the spectators and the other courts and just quietly walked away. No fanfare, no certificates, you know, no trophies, not even a thank you from the other team. And the officials went on to say that this is something that they don't really see that kind of sportsmanship happening as often as they felt it should, but they were just absolutely thrilled to see it. And I was proud of these players, and that just that they were recognized by the officials, and, you know, they didn't receive any certificates or trophies, but just a compliment. And also, I'm not going to take any credit whatsoever for their actions. I had absolutely nothing to do with it in any way. I never said a word to them, nor did I ever ask them to go out there and shag balls. Like I said, I had nothing to do with it. This was all them, my guys. And what I learned out of it is that, yes, absolutely, sportsmanship. Thanks, Christy. You're absolutely right, lady. I love hearing your thoughts. Thank you. But yes, sportsmanship is still present. And I know a lot of people say, and I've said it myself once or twice, that sportsmanship has dropped off a lot over, you know, the last several years. And I've witnessed it, you know, many times on my own. But just witnessing small, simple acts of sportsmanship like this by these athletes, young men, it reminded me that not everybody lacks it. And that there are parents and their previous coaches and teachers and guides that have taught them these lessons. And those lessons have stuck with them. And, you know, they were a great example to others. Like I said, the officials were so impressed by this that they felt the need to seek me out and share that with me. So yes, they left an impact there just by something simple that they thought didn't mean anything to anyone else, except for them. So if you heard something that resonates with you, give me some love. Drop your thoughts or comments in the thread anytime. Share the video with anyone you think it might help. And PM me if you have questions or want to hear more. about ways that you can share sportsmanship with players and your children. So, and how it can help you, hopefully. Thank you for the love. Sometimes I miss it when I peek at my notes, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Great sportsmanship, acting with class and integrity, being leaders as well as athletes. It's still there. It's not gone completely. It hasn't disappeared. It's still being taught by many, even though there are others who do not. And I have to commend those parents of my players. Like I said, I am not taking any credit whatsoever for this. No way. But I had to commend those parents for teaching those boys, for teaching athletes great sportsmanship. So our job as parents, teachers, coaches, guides, it's not to complain about those who don't have sportsmanship. It's our job to emulate and demonstrate and teach them our athletes on a daily basis, because they copy what they see. It's not an easy lesson. It's one I've had to learn over and over again, but it's definitely worth it. So if you want to see more acts of sportsmanship and integrity, we need to make sure that we help put that there. I'll catch you later.